Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Greaves Cotton is pleased to announce our 7th consecutive quarter of profitable growth. The presentation was sent out yesterday night. Our third quarter financial results are strong and in line with our strategic plan that we laid out about 3 years ago. In spite of inflationary environment across the industry, as you can see, we've been able to maintain an EBITDA margin of 14%, with clearly some of the newer areas, newer businesses, clean tech, BS6 solutions, as well as new lines of businesses contributing to some of the incremental growth. We are also increasing investments in the last mile mobility solutions, supported by a very strong network of 250 plus Greaves retail outlets and 5,000 plus spares outlet across the country. The company reported a revenue growth of 13% when you look at 506 versus 447. EBITDA grew by 14%, 71 versus 62 crores a year ago. Profits before exceptional items and tax grew by 17%, i.e. 68 versus 58. And there were some exceptional items that I would like the CFO to elaborate a little bit more, which was last year, and so profit after tax was 43 crores. So the CFO will elaborate that a little bit more. With that, let me hand it over to Neetu.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending the call. So, presentation is already available with everyone. I'll not go page by page, but just touch upon the key highlights. So the one thing which we are happy to say that from 408 crore on average revenue, we are now moving towards 486, so inching towards a 500 crore. The revenue mix remains slightly lower for engine, which is 49 from 50, and others 26%, aftermarket at 25. Another important point to thrive is that the new initiatives, which in FY17 was at 2%, is 9% now. It's a 5.4 times growth and a 132% CAGR. On the business overview, I'll now ask Arun to give you a business update.
So on the business update side, one of the important things which we have been working on is the BS6 program. So on the diesel side, the program is progressing well, and we are working along with our OEMs in terms of ensuring that the products are ready in time. And in terms of the OEM tie-ups, we have tied up with all the major OEMs, the latest one being Mahindra, which has just been closed. As we also see that CNG as a segment is experiencing significant growth on the three-wheeler side. So there we have been working with the technology solution for two customer segments. One is the semi-rural and second is the urban and city segment. On the semi-rural side, we have a 400cc CNG engine, which is in many ways a like-to-like comparison with our flagship diesel product. And this segment has been experiencing significant growth. We have launched a BS4 product as well, which is, I think the volumes have almost doubled over the past year, and we expect this to continue as the CNG network spreads into the tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well over the period of next 5 years. In addition, on the urban side, where the market is largely a CNG market, we have a new technology, the Crest technology, which we have been working on, and this has been mentioned in the past as well. The important part is that from concept, this product has moved into reality. Now it has been integrated with the vehicle, and we are in the process of showing this product to various customers, and expect to complete in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And thereafter, the project moves into the next phase of development. In addition, if you see the other milestone on the clean technology journey was the Ampere acquisition, which we closed in the last quarter, and the business has also been performing well. And so I think the other important thing in this is Ampere has a dominant position in the slow speed vehicle segment, and now we are preparing for product launch in the higher speed segment, and hopefully in fourth quarter we would be coming out with a higher speed product as well. in addition, our journey of expanding beyond India also continues, and we have recently tied up with a new OEM for engines in the international market. On the Greaves retail side, this is another key strategic asset which the company is creating. And on the multi-brand product journey, we started with the three-wheeler parts. Now we are further extending our product range into the two-wheeler parts. And we have launched almost 700 parts in the previous quarter. On the Greaves retail side, now this network has become a fairly strong network now of over 250 plus. This includes around 115 Greaves Care outlets as well as augmented with the Ampere outlets. And on an integrated basis now, what we have started doing in the past 3 months is aligning all these outlets into a unified interface and to leverage the synergy benefits. And today the network stands at close to 250. The other important part is on our journey from towards becoming increasingly B2C trust. We are now touching almost 15,000 customers every month through our Greaves retail outlets. On the other businesses, the farm business segment, the power tiller experienced a good growth of almost 80% in YTD FY19, and this is a market share gain of close to 6%. So those are the broad highlights on the business side.
We open the forum for Q&A now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. In the interest of time and fairness to all participants, each participant will be allowed one question and a supplementary question if needed. If participants still have more questions, they can join the queue afresh. We will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. To ask a question, please press star and 1 on your touchtone phone now. We have a first question from the line of Prayesh Jain from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. A couple of questions. First one, in the presentation when you mention new business, what all does it comprise of?
So this comprises of the CNG, the other small engine and large engine business applications which we have started, and Ampere.
Okay. And so if I just look at the numbers, year-to-date number, and just subtract the new business revenues, your core business seems to be growing at just 4% and 5%, like 5% growth in 9 months. But vis-a-vis the three-wheeler growth that we've seen is far higher. So just could you elaborate as to which segment is seeing subdued growth or possibly even a decline?
So in the 9% growth, you also have Ampere, which is actually not there in the standalone financials. So that number is 41 crores.
Okay.
From that perspective, then if you see, there is a decent growth, around 8 to 9% growth for the regulars.
Okay. And ma'am, the way you generally give the volumes for all the segments, it would be great if you could share it for this quarter.
Yeah, I can share that with you. So the volumes for engine is 81,622 versus 79,215.
Okay.
Genset is 1,516 versus 1,096.
Okay.
PK pump set is 17,356 versus 16,496.
Okay.
PK pump set 17. Tiller is 655 versus 324.
655 versus 324.
Yeah. So these are for quarter 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Bharat Yanani from Sher Khan. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity. So my question is basically, would you like to give any outlook or some internal targets that you have set in for the MPN next year? So like at the time of acquisition, we had mentioned that we would be breaking even the business by, FY20 or so. So are we on track for that, and what's your outlook for the same?
Yeah, so I'll take the first part of the question, and maybe Neetu can come in at for the financials. So in summary, the outlook in the affordable mobility, we are quite excited as what we are seeing, especially in the lower speed as well as in the optimal speed or the higher speed version. The demand and the market needs. When we look at where we are at end of the 9-month period, we are about 41 crores, like Neetu said earlier, versus the previous year of about 18 crores for the full fiscal year. So when you look at it, we are already running at about 3.5x. We believe this is a market size of about people at the bottom of the pyramid, affordable mobility, which is about 200 million people who will be looking for vehicles. So we believe that the potential to continue on this growth path is strong. We believe that you will be seeing a lot of newer products in this pipeline, and you will see a strong Greaves retail integrated outlet, which is a combination of both Greaves and Ampere, bringing in the strengths of both the companies over the next couple of months. So you're going to see our go-to-market plan spell out over the next 3 to 6 months. Anything on the EBITDA you want to add?
Yeah, so it will already break even at EBITDA in the current year. So we had promised FY20, but it will happen in 19.
Okay, and the PAT break even?
PAT break even next year.
Next year. Okay. And sir, just one more question. You give the breakup of engine business. So can you split for 3-wheeler and small commercial vehicle?
4-wheeler is just 6% of the revenue.
Okay. So basically 3-wheeler business engines, you can provide a number separately for this quarter?
69,097.
And what was the number?
Versus 66,573.
66,573. Okay, and just last question, sir. You said in one of your presentation that the incremental business, the new business initiatives comprise of the CNG business and the Ampere business. So, what is the contribution that you are foreseeing from the new business in the next financial year? Some broad-based numbers can help.
So, if you look at the trend, right, what Neetu just talked about was we've already gone from 0 to about 9%, I think is
correct,
what we have.
Correct.
Obviously, we have some internal goals keeping in line with the strategic business plan, and clearly you can expect us to be on this trajectory. But clearly we are quite excited at the traction that we are getting on some of this new business. Case in point, the 3-wheeler multi-brand spares, the 2-wheeler multi-brand spares, the Greaves Care network, the Greaves retail network, the Ampere, as well as like Neetu talked about, some of our traditional engines business now we are beginning to grow, whether it is one big customer win on the Indonesian side that Arun talked about earlier, or some incremental application opportunities in the non-automotive space as well, which we are beginning to see traction. So it's not only automotive, but even within the engine space, we are trying to diversify between the small non-automotive engines for other applications like marine or construction or some of that area also is beginning to see traction. So all of this is in the new business opportunities which are all created in the last 2.5 years.
Okay. And sir, just the last question from my side. Can you share this CNG engine units numbers for Q3?
So for this quarter YTD, we have sold around 2,500 for the quarter.
Okay, 2,500 for the quarter. And
YTD is 9,200.
9,200. And any figure you can share for the corresponding period?
It was almost half, so it's growing at 100%.
Growing at 100%. Okay. Thanks and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Monami Manna from Arihant Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Thanks for allowing me to ask the question. Ma'am, I just wanted to have some idea on your market share, in the CNG space as of now. What is the outlook on that? Because as we know that, Bajaj is the market leader as of now. So how is your strategy, bearing fruit, and what is the outlook, going forward? Since now you are, ready with a few of your products, and there was customer positive feedback also, as you have mentioned in your, presentation. So some light on that. Hello.
Yeah. So I'll take this question. So basically, if you see on the CNG side, in terms of the market share right now is small. Bajaj continues to hold a dominant position. But as we said that, as the BS6 regime comes in, it is at that point wherein some of our new products will start getting commercialized, and we expect the market share increase to happen. On the semi-rural and semi-urban and rural side, places where there is a CNG network, there we have already started expanding with our 400cc engine, and the numbers Neetu just gave that we have almost doubled our business over the past year or so.
So this number is for semi-rural, what ma'am shared?
This is for the bigger CNG engine.
Bigger CNG engine.
Okay. Okay, sir. And sir, any, outlook, I know you don't give guidance, but any, light on the margin, whether it will remain stable or any improvement?
Yeah, it should remain stable within that range, what we have been reporting for last 3 quarters.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Anupam Goswami from SMIFS. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My first question is on the, if you can give some light on the market share of your engine business.
70.
So it is in the 70+% range.
70+%. And so, who are the other competitors in this market?
So, primarily, Greaves supplies to most of the OEMs, and other than that, it is Bajaj.
Bajaj. Okay, sir, I'll come back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Kunal Shah from Omniscient Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a question regarding Ampere. So I just wanted to understand, as far as the strategy for the Ampere goes, in terms of the capacity, capex, how is the competition faring, and what's the bigger picture out there as far as the Ampere goes?
So, in terms of the broad level strategy, we are working on 2 sides. One is on the product basket, and second is the go-to-market reach. So on the product side, like we mentioned before, that we have got a good portfolio of slow-speed products. It is on the higher side that we are focusing over the past few months, and hopefully the first product should be out in 4th quarter. On the market side, Ampere had a dealership network of close to 75, which we have been increasing. Plus, in addition to our Greaves retail outlet, we have almost doubled the market reach. And this is another thrust area that as the Greaves retail network grows, it will be an integrated platform for all of the products, including Ampere. So that is the on the product side. On some of the competition, in terms of the competition, the major players for electric two-wheelers are Hero Electric and Okinawa, and players like Ether, etc. operate in a different segment, so we really don't compete with on that segment.
So Ampere is number 2 position today.
Ampere is at number 2 position.
And what about the capex and capacity as far as the Ampere goes?
So as of now, the capacity is enough for us to, take the company to 3 times the revenue. So we don't need to spend too much. We'll be spending more on the new product segment R&D.
Okay, fair enough.
Very large.
Okay. The other question is, as far as the diesel engine numbers, I believe have been going down. So how do we see the transition happening as far as the CNG engines go and the BS6 diesel engines go? So if you could throw some light as far as our strategy is very clear that we want to transition, but how are we, what's the strategy out there as well?
Yeah, so I'll start this off. If you recall, when we set out the strategic plan, we said it was an and strategy. We said it was a fuel agnostic solution wherein we would do diesel engine plus CNG plus petrol plus hybrid plus electric. So, and I think if you look at it, both in terms of fuel agnostic play, now we have, as we go, the CNG volumes are going on the 4XX on the BS4, albeit of a smaller base. Arun already touched upon that. Point number 2 is our thrust engine, which is our newer state-of-the-art technology that we are bringing in from California. That is absolutely giving us good results. we had talked about an intent to deliver 25% fuel efficiency. Now we have a vehicle running with the Crest engine, which is under demonstration, and our customer OEs are doing the demos as we speak. That probably will be under demo for the entire month of February. But initial feedback is very positive because initially we had expected a 25% fuel efficiency. Now we are seeing a 25% fuel efficiency on a real-world vehicle in India, on Indian test cycles, in our facility right here, and the customers are looking at that, right? So that obviously opens up a very significant portion of the CNG market for us, which along with our OEs, we will be able to play over the next couple of years. Arun alluded to that, right? So that is kind of where we believe the strategy, along with the products and the technology. So our idea of bringing in responsible technology that leapfrog, wherein we are getting 25% fuel efficiency, plus getting significant emissions improvement, i.e. we're going to meet or beat BS6 while not giving up performance. So when you look at the acceleration levels, the performance levels of that engine, compare that with 25% fuel efficiency, it's the trade-off, and that's kind of the engine that's running right now on a vehicle and is available for our customers to drive around right now, right? So that is going on track, and we are quite pleased with what we are seeing in the real world, right? So, and then plus, we're also transitioning into electric, as you already saw, the Ampere and some of those other Greaves retail area. So when I look at it, and even within the diesel engines, what we've realized is in the small engine and the large engines, there are adjacent opportunities where the markets, like I touched upon earlier, marines or construction or larger diesel engines can be sold to others, right? So yes, some of the fuel mix on the diesel side we expect to go down, just like we had said 2 years ago, and over a period of time. But that transition as it goes to CNG, whether it is a large format CNG or the small format CNG, we will have the products, and not just products, but the technology that's leapfrog will be available in the Indian market, right? And plus we'll also be available in electric. So in that sense, our diversification strategy is playing out. If you look at the numbers, in spite of the fact that the diesel and some of our customers losing some share in the diesel market, we are still seeing the overall engine volume has actually grown. And that is precisely the reason for this diversification of newer areas and newer businesses. So I expect this strategy, our strategy, to continue to develop. We need to continue to execute flawlessly to our strategy. And then as the diversification happens, as the consumer and the market preferences change, we will be ready ahead of time. That's kind of where it is.
Great, I'll come back in the queue for the other questions.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Participants who wishes to ask a question at this time, press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. We have a next question from the line of Varun Bakshi from Qtr3 Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Ashutosh here. Firstly, on this Greaves Cotton outlet, you talked about that, you will be selling Ampere vehicles also from that outlet. So, have you started that thing, and on how many outlets are doing that?
Yeah, so we have started doing that, and I think right now what we are beginning to do is now we are getting to an integrated outlets wherein we are Greaves Care or the service centers, plus we are having sales outlets as well, which is selling clean mobility solutions in two-wheelers, and we've also started to selling e-rickshaws. So Greaves Retail now is really one of the fastest growing brands for clean mobility solutions, and it could be two-wheeler electric vehicles, it could be three-wheeler e-rickshaws, it could be service and spares. That would be, so in the automotive terms, it's the classic 3S, wherein you get the sales as well as a service type of operation, and we're going to continue on this format in the other markets as well over the next couple of quarters.
Are you saying that you started selling e-rickshaws from this channel?
Yes, we are.
Which brand, basically?
We have a couple of brands that we are working with our traded partners.
Okay. But see, generally, as far as I understand, these outlets, Greaves Care would be sort of out of the city, because three-wheeler customers go over there only for servicing and all. While Ampere would probably be more like a city vehicle, so would the customer class who is going to buy Ampere will go outside city to purchase it? I mean, the dealership should ideally be inside the city, right?
Fair question. I think we've looked at it in detail, and I think Arun from our strategy team will address that.
Yeah. So, in terms of Ampere product customer segmentation, if you see, there is a segment which is, as you said, urban segment. There's also a very sizable segment which is in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, and Nagesh initially mentioned that, the real shift will come from almost 200 million people who currently don't have access to any sort of a motorized transport, and as they move, it will be the electric two-wheeler. It will be also in terms of e-rickshaws and other shared mobility platforms in these markets, and that's where our thrust is. These products also find good complementarity with our Greaves retail network because, as you said, that in the tier 2, tier 3 city where the three-wheeler population dominates, over a period of time, there will be multiple products which will start coming in from diesel to, as the CNG network grows, it will be CNG. Then as the electric ecosystem develops, it will be the electric two-wheeler, e-rickshaws, and probably in future the electric autos. So overall, if we see, all of these products will be uniquely configured to the Greaves retail outlet, which is a service-backed outlet in terms of product as well as product support.
So in terms of selling, the dealer can directly also buy from the OEM. So you bring, because of your size, you think that you get more bargain power with the OEM, and from where you get these e-rickshaws and all?
No, we are only looking at the clean mobility product solutions. We are not focusing on the diesel.
I'm saying that in the e-rickshaw only. So dealers can directly also buy from that OEM. While you coming in between, is it because your bargain power will be higher with OEMs, so you can probably get better price point with them?
Retail network.
Yes. So yes. So it is also we're working with the OEMs in terms of helping them expand their reach, and in terms of the bargaining power, it is less about bargaining power, more about helping them scale up.
Okay. And I missed out how many Greaves outlets you have right now, and what's the plan going ahead?
So we say the Greaves integrated channel is close to 250 right now.
What's the plan on that?
The plan is to double it over a period of time.
Any time frame on that?
So you've already seen that. I think we had said we would do 150 by the end of this fiscal. We are today at 250. As we look at clusters around the country, we look at the customer population, we look at opportunity size, we have grown very rapidly. We have shown that, we have demonstrated that, we have executed that. So stay tuned. As we go forward, I think you can expect a similar type of ramp up. But I would not like to give a number or a time frame right now, only because I think we are evaluating these markets. Certain markets are very strong for two-wheelers, certain markets could be very strong for Greaves Care, so we will come back with a final number maybe in a quarter or so.
And lastly, any color on Altigreen? How is the progress over there? I mean, when do we think products can come from there?
So Altigreen, again, we had talked about, we had done some of the results that you're seeing in clean mobility was because we had done some of that initiatives when we started with, because we tried proof of concept with a couple of these companies, tried the technology, we brought in the technology of the EV vehicle in the Auto Expo. So clearly we had the kit ready, we are working with, so at the end of the day, some of the cleaner mobility solutions in the revenue streams you're beginning to see is a result of what we started, and clearly what we will bring to the market is where we believe from a Greaves DNA, the value proposition is there, our customers are going to get the right total cost of ownership, and we can make a profitable business. As and when these businesses reach that level of maturity where profitably we could bring that business to the market, we will be bringing those businesses. You're already seeing some of that happen as we speak.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Participants kindly use handsets while asking a question. We have a next question from the line of Bharat Gyanani from Sher Khan. Please go ahead.
So thank you for the opportunity once again. Just one clarification that the CNG number that you provided, engines of about 2,500 units. So that is basically the three-wheeler engine or the LCV engine? If you can just clarify on the same.
It's a larger three-wheeler engine.
Sorry, larger three-wheeler engine.
Yeah.
Okay. And who is the current customer for that?
Piaggio.
So most of
largely is Piaggio.
Largely Piaggio. Okay, fair enough. And sir, another question is on the ampere part. So what is the product range in terms of pricing that you currently have when you say low speed, and what is the price point when you say that you will launch a product in probably a higher price point, a higher speed engine? So if you can just give some color on that.
Yeah. So when you look at the, we are in the area of affordable mobility, right? And then when we look at it, we are anywhere today in the range of 35 to about 50,000 rupees, right? And that is kind of where we play today. What you're going to start seeing is as we move also to lithium-ion batteries, as we move to higher speed vehicles that the team was talking about earlier, you can expect that number to go upwards of 60,000-70,000 rupees, but we clearly do not have a price point because we haven't decided on the market launch for that. As and when I'm ready to announce the pricing position for the market, we will come back and tell you. But it's fair to expect that it will be upwards of 55,000.
Okay, and so basically this will come with a lithium-ion battery, is that?
Yes.
Okay. And just one last question from my side. What is the capex plan for FY20?
FY20 for Greaves is around 75 crores.
And anything on ampere or anything? So 75 includes everything from ampere as well, or like?
Not ampere. Ampere will be 8 to 10 this year.
Sorry, 8 to 10?
8 to 10 crores.
8 to 10 crores. Okay, so overall capex would be about 85 crores.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Manish Goel from Inam Holdings. Please go ahead.
Yeah, very good morning. Just a few clarifications. So the CNG engine, what we are talking about, 400cc, you clarified that it is for larger three-wheelers, which are ideally supplied to Piaggio.
Sorry. So today we have a larger engine, which is not 200cc. It's a larger vehicle, 400cc. 200, what we talked, is the future product which we are working along with the Pinnacle, and we'll be launching along with the BS6.
So that is the crushed CNG engine?
Yes.
Okay. So just to clarify, this larger 400cc engine is for larger three-wheelers, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
In smaller cities, you see, those 6 to 7 seaters.
No, I agree. Yeah, because we were under impression that was basically for four-wheelers earlier. So, okay. And so ideally this three-wheeler CNG which has been launched is a BS6 compliant, right?
Will be launched.
Yes, so these will be launched as BS6 comes into force next year.
Correct. Today they are at BS4.
Today they are at BS4 levels.
So right now the demonstration which are going are for the BS4.
BS6.
Let's explain the two. There are two engines. Yeah.
So when Neetu was giving some of the numbers on the existing CNG engine sales, those are for the BS4 vehicles.
Sure.
Those also we are upgrading to BS6. And in terms of the customer demo, what we talked about was for the CREST program, and it is for the BS6 emission regime. The smaller city CNG.
Yeah, 200cc. Okay, got it. Thanks so much. And again, on a clarification of Greaves Care, so now we are referring to a number of 250 outlets. So is it that these 250 outlets are including the Ampere 75 numbers?
Yes.
And when you said integrated, so all Greaves Care retail outlets are basically doing services, selling spare parts, and electric two-wheelers and electric three-wheelers.
So that integration journey has started. Over a period of time, that is our expectation. Right now, we would say that close to 40 Greaves Care outlets would be selling electric two-wheelers as well.
And we are also started selling electric three-wheelers, right?
E-rickshaws.
E-rickshaws, yeah. Okay, e-rickshaws. Okay. And Neetu ma'am, if you can please repeat the volume numbers, I missed out completely on those.
Yeah, so engines 81,622 total.
81,622 was this?
Versus 79,215.
79,125, okay. And three-wheelers and four-wheelers breakup?
So three-wheelers is 69,097 versus 66,573.
Okay. And can you give me the numbers for agri as well?
So tillers is 655 versus 324.
Right.
PK pump set 17356 versus 16496.
Okay, and diesel?
Diesel is 2213 versus 3493.
3493. And, sorry, auxiliary
genset
power?
Genset 1516 versus 1096.
Okay. And last question as to, you have definitely given us a revenue breakup in terms of engines, aftermarket and others. So just want to get a sense, is this aftermarket includes the third party multi-spares?
Yes.
So what is the level of multi-spares quarterly revenue run rate we have reached?
So, we don't get into the specific details, but when you look at the market size, we had talked about for the three-wheeler multi-brand, right? A market opportunity of about 1,500, 1,600 crores. Then we had talked about the two-wheeler multi-brand spares, which was a huge opportunity. The good news is, it is beginning to gain significant traction on the three-wheeler multi-brand spares, right? And I don't want to get into the specific numbers right now, but clearly that is a significant chunk of our growth coming from the aftermarket business, which is growing in double digit.
Yes.
And majority of the growth, as you know, is not coming on the diesel spare parts, it's coming on the multi-brand spare parts. So clearly the number is becoming significant now.
Yeah, so the reason about I was probably looking for is that how is your traditional engine spare parts business growing?
So that's doing well and is probably holding its own, right? And is in single-digit growth, in line with the industry.
In line with it.
Yeah. Whereas we are outperforming the competition when you look at aftermarket performance by growing at significant double-digit, and the majority or the major reason why we are outperforming the competition is because it's coming on the back of the multi-brand three-wheeler spares, multi-brand two-wheeler spares that's just beginning to take off. So it's predominantly coming from there.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of VP Rajesh from Banyan Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, congratulations on the strong progress on various fronts. Just trying to understand, in case of electric two-wheeler, you guys decided to acquire Ampere, but in case of three-wheelers, you are getting into partnerships. So if you can just comment on the decision-making progress, because I would think that you could actually start making your own three-wheeler e-rickshaws.
So our strategy has been very clear when you look at it, right? We said we have brand reach capability as a company. Then we said we wanted to get closer and closer to a consumer. And we said we wanted to organize the unorganized. And we wanted to kind of increase the value capture. Right? So when you look at the strategy and how it's playing out, I think you're seeing a lot of these elements come into place. Regarding the hypothetical about a three-wheeler, I won't want to comment because today we are very happy servicing our three-wheeler customers for our three-wheeler diesel engines. And that's kind of where we are playing today. In some of the cleaner mobility solutions, whether it is an electric two-wheeler, e-rickshaws, where we do not supply to anybody, you are already seeing our Greaves retail getting closer to the consumer and we are getting into it. So I think we have a very clear strategy where we are working with our customers on one end and in the other end where we are not working with anybody, we are on the cleaner mobility side, on the electric side, we are working with obviously Greaves retail.
Mr. Rajesh, sir, do you have any further questions? Hello?
Yeah, we can go to the next person, please.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Prayesh Jain from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, again. The first one, Nitin, could you clarify on the 5 crore extraordinary with regards to the ILFS?
Yeah, this is the ILFS. So what we have assumed, it's not mature. The maturity date has not come in, but since there is a risk, what we have assumed is that it will take time to get the money, so we have discounted the current holdings.
Okay.
The total holdings is 20.5 CR.
20.5 CR, okay. And ma'am, what is the current stake in Ampere?
67%.
57%. It could be more, it could be consolidated line by line and minority would be given at the end of the year, right? That would be the way.
Yeah,
accounting. Yeah. And what would be the cost of with regards to the Crest engine? Well, you have spoken about the mileage benefits of around 25%. Any indication on the cost front as to as these engines are at costing similar to the current engines in the market, or they're expensive, and by what range if they're expensive?
Yeah, I'll take that question. I think, as you know, Greaves is very focused on the total cost of ownership, the value proposition we offer, because at the end of the day, we know our customers have to put food on the table, and for them, the cost per kilometer is very, very important. Having said that, though, we do not have the final costing because we're still in the alpha demonstration phase with our customers right now, which is going well, like I said before. But we expect the value proposition to be significant enough, wherein even if there is a small increase in cost vis-a-vis the IC engine technology because of the superior performance, we will offer 25% fuel efficiency. Hence, the total cost of ownership, we believe, will be far superior to a conventional engine.
Okay. All right. And sir, on the e-rickshaws front, when did we start selling these e-rickshaws? And in which market are we selling them right now?
So we have started selling over the past quarter, and primarily it is happening in the northern and eastern markets, which are the strong areas for these products.
And again, it's the strength of Greaves retail. We've always talked about brand, and now we have the reach with the 250 outlets plus the 5,000 spares outlet, which immediately gives us access and reach and network. And hence, over a period of time, we're going to sweat these assets. And that's kind of the intent. While the primary purpose is clearly Greaves two-wheelers and Greaves service, we will sweat these assets as and when we see an opportunity.
Okay. And the OEMs are...
We work with several traded partners, right?
Yes.
So.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have a next question from the line of Varun Bakshi from Qtr3 Securities. Please go ahead.
On this diesel engine for BS6 compliant engine, how much cost increase you see when you migrate from BS4? And also, because we also supply for small commercial vehicles like ES-Chips, so how much cost increase can happen over there? Just want to compare between the two.
So as of now, it will take another 3 to 4 months for us to get to the cost, because yet we haven't finalized the BOMs, because we have to work with the OEMs and decide as to the structure and the components for the engine. So it will maybe take 3 to 4 months for us to get the exact cost numbers.
But any color on whether the cost increase in case of three-wheelers would be more or less than what will happen in case of small commercial vehicles?
The engine is only 15 to 20% of the cost of a vehicle. So even if this goes up, it's not that the vehicle will also considerably go up. So let's see. I think next 3 to 4 months we should have a color on this.
And we also had launched this electric pumps. So how is the progress over there? Because our overall pump volumes are kind of flattish or declining.
So electric pumps are doing good. For the quarter, we have sold around 9,000 pumps from nothing in last year. So, and YTD it is 14,000. 14,000 for YTD, because it was launched only in quarter 2. We started selling from quarter 2. So 14,000 for 9 months.
9,000 in the current quarter itself.
Yes, 9,000.
So, and generally, how is the realization for these pumps on an average?
The realization is actually much lower as compared to the PK pumps or others. So it's a small number.
Roughly in what range?
It's very small number. So
we're just starting this business, and as the business grows, then we can talk more about it. Okay? But it's clearly part of our diversification strategy.
Okay. And these are sold through the same channel as your petrol pumps?
Yes, so same channel.
And lastly, on this small CNG engine that you're developing for BS6 application, so any progress in terms of customer addition or...
Yeah, I touched upon it earlier. Let me repeat. So we have always been talking about a superior performance. Now we have alpha stage engines at the prototype phase, physically built, both in California and in our factories. And those engines have been put into three-wheelers. These three-wheelers are running on the ground in Indian duty cycle conditions, and our customers, one by one, are evaluating that. Initial feedback has been quite encouraging and quite positive, very positive to be frank. wherein the 25% fuel efficiency improvement that we had envisaged is the reality. So I think good first impression. Clearly, we will work with our OEs over the next 1 to 3 months, and we will update the analyst community as and when we have more news to report.
And on the genset side, I mean, we are growing quite well for last, I think, 2 years now. I mean, how is the market doing basically in that segment? And any color on future plans over there? We had launched the larger size genset as well.
Yeah, so genset market is relatively flat. So in that sense, we are outperforming the market. And
yeah, there is a gain of market share, and future plans we are going to launch higher kVA gensets, more than 500. So in the past we were only into 40 to 500. Now we are moving from 500 to up to 1,200 kVA.
So this volume growth that is coming, is it because of the network expansion that is happening, or is only the shift towards the larger kVA?
It's a mix of all. As of now, the larger kVA is a very small component.
Correct. So it's more the network expansion, the targeted business development activities that the teams are going after. And they're going micro market after micro market and going after region by region market share gains. That's what they're doing right now.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Anupam Goswami from SMIFS. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. So you mentioned about selling e-rickshaws. I wanted to know what kind of margins can we make from this segment?
Sorry, actually we couldn't hear.
Yeah, I couldn't get the question.
It's not audible.
Hello? Hello?
Sir, please
can you repeat the question?
Ma'am, you mentioned about selling e-rickshaws. We have already started selling that. So what kind of margins we can make from there?
So as of now, it's a traded product, and it's just we are, testing the proof of concept. So maybe margins are much lower than the company averages, but over a period of time, it will move upwards.
Okay. Any target we have on this, like what kind of margin we can make?
So we
take a step back here, if I can jump in here. I think, like I said, Greaves Retail is a strategic asset for us. We have 250 outlets. We have 5,000 spare shops across the country, right? Where the reach and the capability that we're bringing in to each one of these centers, right, is immense. It will be both a sales outlet and a service outlet. Service outlet means the mechanics are trained not only in diesel but in CNG and in electric. It will have infrastructure ready as and when the market wants it in terms of electric charging infrastructure some places. So we are looking at this holistically, and in sales we will obviously use it primarily to sell ampere. We're also going to be doing some traded plays, like I said, to sweat the assets and improve the throughput and improve the profitability or the viability of our franchisee partners. And so, parallelly, we're also going to be doing spare sales and service out of these. So when you look at it, look at this holistically as a Greaves retail outlet, and it is a multi-branded Greaves retail outlet. That's kind of how I would put it. So I would not like to get into specifics of margin for this versus that. Look at it holistically about store-by-store growth, store-by-store revenue, store-by-store viability, how we're doing versus some of the people who've been before. So I think that's how I would look at it. And I think the encouraging sign is our dealers are increasingly viable in a very short period of time. We have more and more people lining up to become partners in this Greaves retail. So that should probably give you an indication of where this is headed.
And to add, as a company, we are not going to compromise on the overall margin. So as we are saying that we will be in the range of this 14, I think we'll be there.
Yeah. As a group average.
Yes.
Sure, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Nagesh Basavanpalli for closing comments. Sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you all. And like we committed a couple of years ago as part of our strategic business plan, we said one of the biggest things I used to hear was 2012 to 2016, lack of growth. 2016 onwards, you've seen growth 7 quarters in a row. Whatever the management team has been talking to you, you're seeing some of the actions come through. Newer initiatives are on track. We will continue to keep executing flawlessly because that's what we expect to do for our shareholders. And with that, thank you again for all of your time. We appreciate your time today and we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen.